Hello, hello. Welcome. This is Kristie with AG Takes Over, or welcome back if you're a regular. Either way, I'm glad you're here. Today's Dressing My Dolls video is one I'm excited about. I'll be honest, I'm excited about every Dressing My Dolls video because I love dressing our dolls. It's one of my favorite ways of enjoying our collection. But I'm particularly excited about this one because the theme being Dressing My Dolls for Black History Month, each of the dolls selected someone in history that they wanted to highlight. So I'm going to share some information with you based on the badass Black women in history that they picked. Before we dive into that, if you are not a subscriber already, please consider subscribing. Tap that notification bell so you always know when I upload new videos. I'd love for you to give this video a thumbs up. And also in the comments, so much to share. Black-owned Etsy shops that you support? Please shout those out. Favorite outfits? Yes, I would love to know that. Based on the information, the kind of very brief bios that the girls are going to share, anybody that's new to you, anybody you're excited about learning more about, by the way, I'm going to put the links to several websites in the description for this video so that you know where I found the information and you know where to find more. All right, let's get started. First up, we're going to be learning about Dr. Jane Hinton from Royce, who is Our Truly Me 26. By the way, Royce is wearing shoes from Nanea's collection and a shirt and a skirt that my wife Grace made. But back to Dr. Jane Hinton. She was a researcher and a veterinarian, a notable scientist in the field of bacterial resistance and veterinary medicine. She graduated from Simmons College in 1939, and in 1949 she earned her Doctor of Veterinary Medicine from the University of Pennsylvania. She was one of the first African American veterinarians in the nation, establishing her practice in Massachusetts. Next up, we're going to learn a little bit about Kathleen Collins from Journey, Our Truly Me 45. And Journey's wearing Pleasant Company boots and American Girl socks, a skirt from Anique's Boutique, a shirt from Delightful Ribbons, and a cardigan from Treasured Dolls USA. Back to Kathleen Collins. She was a poet, a playwright, a writer, a director, an educator, a civil rights activist, and a filmmaker from New Jersey. Her film Losing Ground was about a strained marriage between a teacher and her husband, a painter. It was also one of the first feature films directed by a Black woman. Now let's learn a little bit about Marianne Shad Carey from Addie. Addie is, of course, wearing her meat outfit because she always is. But back to Marianne. Marianne Shad Carey was born in Delaware but lived in both the U.S. and Canada. She ran the first ever newspaper edited by an African-American woman. It was called the Provincial Freeman. She also gave lectures throughout Canada, and she used both of those opportunities to solicit aid for runaways. She was the first Black woman publisher in North America, and the first woman publisher, period, in Canada. She was also the second Black woman to attend law school in the United States. Next, we're going to learn a little bit about Aja Monet from, appropriately, Gabriella McBride. By the way, Gabriella is wearing shoes from the Italy outfit, skirt is Molly Doll's Closet, shirt is Angel Marie Boutique, Kwanzaa bracelet is from AG, and I made the necklace. So this is more recent history, but in 2007, Cuban-Jamaican Aja Monet, who is a poet and activist, became the youngest recipient of the Nuyorican Poets Cafe Grand Slam Championship at just 19 years old. No woman has won that championship award since then. She also has written a poetry collection called My Mother Was a Freedom Fighter. Now we will learn about Stormy DeLarvery from Danny, our CYO. Danny's wearing AG boots, Etsy jeans, and a small-scale style shirt. DeLarvery was a biracial butch lesbian born in New Orleans. As a teen, she joined the Ringling Brothers Circus and rode jumping horses. In the 50s and 60s, she toured the Black theater circuit as the MC and only drag king of the Jewel Box Revue. She worked as a bouncer for several bars in New York City in the 80s and 90s and was active in the Stonewall Veterans Association. She was also a volunteer street patrol worker, earning her the unofficial title of Guardians of Lesbians in the Village. And now on to Dr. Emma Wakefield Paillet. She was obviously chosen by Cecile. Cecile is wearing her parlor outfit. Wakefield Paillet was the first Black woman to earn a medical degree in Louisiana and to practice medicine in the state. Dr. Wakefield Paillet graduated with honors from the Medical Department of New Orleans University in 1897, and she received her Louisiana medical license in 1897 as well. By 1898, she had opened her own medical practice in New Orleans, making her the first Black woman to practice medicine in New Orleans. Next up, Nina Simone was chosen by Deja. Deja is our Truly Me 112, and she's wearing American Girl sandals, shorts from Molly Doll's Closet, shirt from Angel Marie Boutique, and necklace and bracelets that I made. Nina Simone was born Eunice Kathleen Wayman, and she was an American singer, songwriter, pianist, and civil rights activist. Her music spanned styles including classical, folk, gospel, blues, jazz, R&B, and pop. She stands out to Deja because she embraced her natural hair her entire life, but she actually had a fascinating life beyond her musical career and her inspiring hair. Now we move on to Josephine Baker, who's being highlighted by Amara. Amara is our Truly Me 80, and she's wearing Sage's sandals, a skirt from Anique's Boutique, a shirt from Small Scale Styles, the Kwanzaa headband from AG, and bracelets that I made. Famous for dancing, Josephine Baker also fought segregation through organizations like the NAACP. The organization actually named May 20th Josephine Baker Day in honor of her efforts. Over the course of her lifetime, she reportedly received approximately 1,500 marriage proposals, and on the day of her funeral, more than 20,000 people crowded the streets of Paris to watch the procession on its way to the church. Baker was the first American woman buried in France with military honors. Now we'll take a look at Elise Johnson McDougald. She was selected by Claudie, and Claudie's wearing her jazz outfit. McDougald, aka Gertrude Elise McDougald Ayer, was an American educator, writer, activist, and she was the first African-American woman principal in New York City public schools following the consolidation of the city in 1898. Her activism helped her become one of the first pioneers to originate the Activity Program, which placed a large emphasis on the intercultural curriculum. I did check, and she would have been actively employed and working as an educator in New York City when Claudie was going to school there. Next, we'll look at Moms Mabley. She was selected by Ty, our Truly Me 58. Ty's wearing sandals from Beth Ann's Doll Clothes, Amazon shorts, Sage's bracelet, and a Kwanzaa shirt from AG. Moms Mabley was born Loretta Mary Aikinen in 1897. She was a Black lesbian and bisexual woman, vaudeville performer, and comedian. After singing and dancing in local shows, she started performing throughout the country. She rose to national recognition as a stand-up comic in the early 60s, and she has strongly influenced comedians such as Richard Pryor and Whoopi Goldberg. Next up is Dr. Marie Daly, chosen by our Truly Me 31, Nell. Nell is wearing AG sandals, a skirt my wife made, a Small Scale Style shirt, and a Molly Doll's Closet headband. Dr. Daly was the first African-American woman to receive a doctorate in chemistry in the United States. After she earned her bachelor's degree in 1942, she completed her master's in just 1 year and her doctorate in only 3 years. She taught at Howard University, Columbia University, and the Albert Einstein College of Medicine. Daly helped develop programs to increase minority enrollment in medical school and graduate programs, and in 1988 she created a scholarship fund at Queens College for African-American science graduates. Next up is Georgia Dobbins, selected by Melody. Melody's wearing her play outfit, some earrings I made, and a headband from AG's Sunny Day dress. The Marvelettes were Motown's first girl group, and they earned the label their first Billboard #1 hit. The group originated in high school as a 5-piece, including Georgia Dobbins, with the hopes of winning a school singing contest. After Motown's owner Berry Gordy told them that they needed original material if they wanted a singing contract, Dobbins penned their first hit, Please Mr. Postman, overnight. The 13th featured person is Norma Merrick Sklarek, chosen by Quinn, our Truly Me 85. Quinn's wearing the Sunny Sights flats, an Etsy skirt, and the shirt is from Molly Doll's Closet. Norma Merrick Sklarek was a woman of many firsts. Starting in 1954, she was the first African-American woman to earn an architecture license in New York. Then 12 years later, she became the first one in California. In 1959, she was the first Black female to become a member of the American Institute of Architects, where in 1980, she was the first to be elected fellow, a very highly prestigious honor. Next, we look at Lavinia or Kitty Black Perkins. She was chosen by Evie, who's a custom 26. Evie's wearing shoes we bought secondhand, might be Sophie's, a small scale style skirt, a shirt that I made, and a random black headband. Perkins is a legend among Barbie collectors because she designed the first Black Barbie, actually named Barbie, in 1980. They had had friends of Barbie who were Black before, but she was the first one to be called Barbie. Perkins also guided the creative pool of talent at Mattel for over 25 years, serving as the chief designer of fashions and doll concepts, and she has helmed the Barbie division as it explored new territory and themes. And last but not least, we have Anne Lowe. McKenna chose her, and McKenna's wearing sandals from Julie's collection, the AG Kwanzaa skirt, a shirt by Freaky Chic Boutique, and a necklace that I made. Anne Lowe was the first African American to become a fairly renowned fashion designer. From the 1920s to the 60s, her designs were worn by high society women, and she designed one of the most famous wedding dresses in history, the gown worn by Jacqueline Bouvier when she married John F. Kennedy. In 1968, Lowe opened her own store, Anne Lowe Originals, on Madison Avenue, and today her work is exhibited at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. And that does it. Here they all are again in their glory. I think they look utterly gorgeous. I hope that you enjoyed the outfits that I created for the dolls today. And even more than that, I hope that you heard something today that was new and fascinating and inspires you to learn more about some of these amazing badass women in American history. Here are some of the shops that were featured today. I cannot say enough good things about them, so please check them out if you haven't already. I'll be sure to link each of them in the description. And as I mentioned earlier, if you want to add shop recommendations in the comments, or let me know what your favorite outfit was, what thing that you learned today was most interesting, if you want to add to the information about anybody that I covered today, or add a name to the list that we all need to read up on, do any of that in the comments. I'm really looking forward to that. I appreciate you spending some time with me today, and I hope to see you for my next video. Thanks for watching.